Let's do this.
To get to talk to you.
Thank you for having me.
First off, congratulations on the film.
Thanks.
Absolutely loved it. It was 2 hours of dystopian fever dream madness.
Yes.
I started talking about Glen.
Wow.
Because he was like a megaphone madman. I absolutely loved your scenes with him. As someone who's taken on some villainous roles previously, you've obviously got a lot of experience drawing on that and being, you know, your initial start being like the nice guy kind of role. What did you look at with Glen? Was there a backstory involved to sort of find the humanity in him to portray him?
No, I have a more, especially for a movie like this, that is not, it's not like doing something like Ted Kaczynski, you know, that I did, played the Unabomber in an indie movie where you really get into it and you're reading his diaries and all that stuff. This stuff is just kind of popcorn fun, and I resonated with, okay, this is a crazy guy, he's just obnoxious. And you can just be like a prick and just, you know, with a smile on your face all the time. It's like, okay, I can play that. I can play a lot of things, you know, and I'm fortunate enough to get a chance to do a lot of different characters. So no, I didn't prepare as such. It's just have fun, you know, just make it fun.
With it.
Yeah, just riff. And I'm improving most of it. So.
Oh my God, now I have information. I'm going to help you.
And like you say, doing so many characters, I know on your IMDb page you quoted as saying that, you know, you've kind of felt in the past like Hollywood doesn't quite know what to do with you because you do so many diverse characters.
Yes.
Do you feel like that's an advantage?
I think it is. I think it is. I mean, if you're not going to go in and sort of be a movie star who does, you know, who's a big, like a Brad Pitt kind of thing, and even those guys are trying to branch out, but then people don't easily let them, you know. I remember Jodie Foster doing a French accent originally for Elysium. They had to redub her in a sort of a more English accent because the audience just didn't accept her. She did a great French accent. I mean, it was flawless. She speaks French, but they were just like, no, this is Jodie Foster with a French accent. We don't like that. So it's fortunate, I think, as an actor. I think most actors like to do something different if they can.
It's been great because I can't tell you how many times I've been watching a movie and someone will say, I recognize that guy. And I'll be like, it's Sharlto. Yeah. And eventually they'll be like, oh yeah, so you really, it's so rewarding for someone in the audience to see you disappear into those characters.
Yes.
And to, as a fan of your work, not to see you get typecast has been so awesome.
God, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. And it's great as an actor to not be stuck with any particular typecast.
I mean, I don't think anyone would have thought with a role like Ted that you took on. I mean, I think you delved into a year of filming for that.
Yes,
you know, from Vickers to Ted, seeing that spectrum must be really awesome. Where you can leverage that position in Hollywood as a South African in Hollywood. Yes. To who I think a lot of South Africans get typecast in a particular role. Yes. To be able to leverage that and say, I'm going to explore these really layered roles. Yeah.
It's tough, man, and to also to compete in Hollywood when you come from South Africa, you don't have an American accent or an English accent. Or actually an Australian or New Zealand accent, although they sometimes confuse it for that. That's a common mistake. You really, I think, have to fight that much harder.
In Boy Kill's world, just going back to that, there's a huge video game element to it, which was something I really enjoyed, and the little throwbacks to games like Mortal Kombat. And I've heard you're a Street Fighter fan.
Street Fighter 2. Yeah, that was my game back in the day. It's one of the only. It is the only game I ever finished on the arcade version.
So I thought, well, indulge me for a moment. So if we're going to have like a fantasy version of Street Fighter right now, we have player 1, Vickers van der Merwe. He's now taken down, and it's documented now, he's taken down Jason Bourne. He's taken down Wolverine. He would. He's taken down prawns on the streets of Joburg.
Yes,
He's tackled lions.
Okay.
He's now taken down Pennywise. We just saw that the other night with Bill Skarsgard.
Come on, Pennywise was going to be easy. You know, well, he's got clowns in the drain. I'm like, I'm from Africa, bro. We got much worse shit in our drains.
So with that level of with that ensemble that Vickers has taken down, who would your ideal player 2 be that you want to see Vickers take down next?
That he takes down next?
Next. Having gone through all of those players already.
Vickers would take down next. Can it be any politician? Can we just put any of them in there? They can just all be interchangeable. The politicians! You can just use anyone. I don't mind. You can just, it can be all of them. Like any of them. And just like the face just changes. Like in any country. Just
with bureaucracy and action.
Yeah, there you go. Down, just like any politician, any president, anyone, anywhere right now. Just like that guy.
And the finishing move for Vickers?
Finishing move for Vickers. What would the finishing move be for the prawn? Because no, you see, the version that I have is he's got this hand.
Yeah, that's a great skin. We get that skin into the game.
I think he just gives him a nice smack on the face. You know, the South African kind of Bakkies Boerto used to do it, like a little smack. You know, you're a little bit, hey, you're a little bit Charlie, you're a little bit, huh? Come, you know, just at the end, oh, you're a little bit sore, eh?
Yeah, a bit of an emotional slap.
A little bit of a tap, yeah, just a little bit of a like, you're okay. Yeah, just that sort of. Doesn't have to be like a hero move. Just a little bit like, hey boy, you're a little bit sad, eh? A little bit. Oh, God.
And finally, to wrap up, Sharlto, obviously before getting into acting, you had amazing success here in South Africa and great experience behind the scenes as a producer and the youngest South African producer at 25 of television. How rewarding is it now to see so many of these international projects being not only filmed in South Africa, but starting to use a lot of the local talent that we have here, and really that talent is standing up to international standards?
We've been having this conversation about like South African crew talent standing up to international, you know, standards literally since 2009. I think that's very obvious to Hollywood now. Like in my experience with the people I know in Hollywood, everybody knows about us as a place to shoot. They know that the crews are good. There's enough stuff that's been shot here. The biggest change right now, the thing that I was most excited about on this project, is that you had a South African company, put millions of dollars into a project. There's nothing even close to this that a South African company has funded. Not our broadcasters, our media companies, the established ones that have been going for years have never done this. You know, we've got a great service industry and we make movies for other people because we're cheap and we're English speaking and we're culturally relevant. We have American and English cultural influences, so it's easier to shoot here than Eastern Europe or something like that for European and American crews. But to have a financial support starting to happen, let's pray that happens more, because that'll change our whole landscape here. Well,
that'll be exciting. I know you're working on some exciting projects coming up, and you've been writing some stuff, and we'd love to see hopefully that also take off. And
still fighting will make it happen.
It's the constant struggle. So we look forward to what you're doing next, Sharlto.
Thank you, man.
Which are coming up. Can't wait to see you on screen, behind the screen, on and off camera. Looking forward to everything that's coming up.
Thank you, man.
Thank you so much for your time, Sharlto. Appreciate it. Thank you
Cheers.
so much.
Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you.